studios in Atlanta, this is CBT News.
Well, it's always a pleasure when we can welcome back to CBT News Josh Mitchell, Business Development Director at Dan Cummins Chevrolet in Paris, Kentucky. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing very well. Let's get right to it. Josh, you are a wanted man. You are a traveling man, actually, talking about the business of auto retail, and especially now, it's very important. Let's go through some of these numbers. In 2014, Dan Cummins sold about 6,124 vehicles. 2015, you guys sold about 7,500. And in 2016, you almost had the 10,000 mark. It fell short just a little bit, 9,500. That is still awesome. So is there a secret to your success?
I mean, the secret, I talk about this a lot. One of the secrets that we have is our culture that we've developed as a business for our employees and our customers. And the Business Development Center has been a huge part. When I started in 2011, it was myself and another lady. And we've grown that to now I think I'm right at 14 now in the Business Development Center, just in the sales side, and then 2 in the service side. 5 in the service side, and then 2 in the finance BDC. And so, the Business Development Center has been a huge part of our success. Not the only part. The culture has played a huge part into that, but the Business Development Center has been great for it.
All right, you cover leads a lot, not just there, but also with your employees, and as well as when you speak to 20 groups and conferences and seminars and summits and forums. So let's talk a little bit about leads. When we're talking about leads, how long of a wait is too long?
I mean, I think if you go anywhere past 10 minutes, you're definitely running into the probability of not being able to get a hold of them. And so, I think anything under 5 minutes is what you have to strive for. And anything past that, the customer's moved on. And if you think that they're only putting a lead at your dealership, you're wrong. I mean, they're shopping around, and there's other dealerships that are out there. And the speed in which you answer that lead is crucial for your success as a BDC rep.
And as a BDC rep, you've said before that if your first impression, BDC first impression is a horrible impression, game over, basically, right?
It is. It's our first impression that we get to put on the customer. So if it is a difficult process, if we put them through hoops, that's what they are expecting at the dealership. And consumers are getting a lot more savvy, and they're smarter in what they're doing, and they're doing a lot of research. And so it's up to us. We are the first line of defense, and so we have to make it seamless. We have to make it to where we're giving customers information instead of trying to be the guys that are hiding it. And so when we're up front and we give them a great experience, of course it's a better situation for the customer.
Okay, I like what you said there about holding on to that information. It seems as if you're a big believer of giving over the information, because once you do that, you're not like the other people. You put yourself apart. Correct. And that sort of sets a precedent with the customer. You become almost their friend.
Yeah. It's all about that customer's experience. And we, for whatever reason, most dealerships have become romantic about what we do. We sell a product, and our consumers can go anywhere. Just because you're the cheapest price does not mean they are going to go with you. You have a higher likelihood because you're the cheapest price, but customers are looking for an experience. And so, we've worked with banks for however long since the business has been invented, the car business, and yet we hide behind the fact that we don't know interest rates. When it comes to a trade appraisal, we have, from Edmunds to KBB to, if you're using a system like Viato or whatever system you're using, we have these systems at our fingertips. Yet when a customer asks us what their trade's worth, we act like it's our first day and we don't know what to do. And you don't have to give it all the time, but when a customer is being persistent and wants information, give it. It's just the way it should be.
Whoever gives the most information, are they the winner?
I believe so. I believe if you give the most information, the customer is going to feel comfortable, and and feel like you are being completely truthful with them. I think we have developed this stigma in this industry that we aren't very truthful. We don't give out information. We are kind of the enemy. They already think we're the enemy from the get-go. And so when you give over information, it's not like any experience they've ever had. And so then all of a sudden, they're in your showroom. They get the same experience that they got from the phone to their showroom, and they're buying a car because of the experience. And so I think if you give the information, you're going to be able to be more successful.
Does high pressure selling work anymore?
No. The high pressure sales guy is gone. Customers, they spend on average, I think, I don't know how up to date the study is, but the customer's spending 18 hours doing every bit of an investigation that they have to do. And so they know what they want, what they're looking for. And, so that high pressure salesman, what has developed this stigma that's been negative in our business, there's no place for it. If you give the customer information, you give them options, you show them options, there's no reason to have pressure, because all you're doing is help them make the decision at that point. And it's a very simple process. And so the high pressure sales, those guys are done, in my opinion.
Okay, so along with the high pressure salesman comes the commission salesperson. Are commission salespeople gone, or should they be gone?
I think, there's been a lot of talk about the commission sales, and I think, a lot of, including us, has gone to more of a, per unit pay. When you're getting very aggressive, the internet changed the business. The gross, as we all know, has continued to go down across the board. And so, I feel like if you want your salesman to be working for your customer, then the commission factor can't be there. And if they're working on a unit count, it allows them to want to go after more units. And so it's all about that sell. Now, your desk managers have to be the controllers of the gross at that point in time. But I think it's a better situation for the customer if you go to more of that unit base and bonus them. It's not going to change. You don't have to change and say that they don't make money anymore. You don't have to change that fact. It's just a different way of structuring it.
I like one of the things I heard you say at a conference that you guys, Dan Cummins Chevrolet sends out more than 28,000 text messages a month. Why is that?
Yes.
And tell me the big difference it makes to that with your customers.
With text messaging, obviously you have to send it out right. You have to make sure you have the opt-in and opt-out ability, but it allows our customers, if you call me, most likely I'm not going to answer. But if you text me, and there's been studies on this, probably 90% of text messages at least get looked at and opened and get responded to for the most part. And so you're allowing your customer to communicate in their way. And more people are tech savvy. They love text messaging because they don't have to be on the phone. They can text while they're at work, while they're in a meeting, whatever the case may be. And so you allow your customer to communicate in the best way that they know how to, and the best way they want to. I don't think email's dead. I hate email, but I don't think it's dead. I don't think the phones are dead. But I think if you want to communicate with your customer, you have to try all three, and whatever one they choose, you have to go with it. And for us, it's been a lot of text messaging.
Email's not dead. I'm glad you brought that up, because you have said before you need quick, quality templates. And this automated stuff is sort of like the outdated commission salesperson and the hardcore high pressure selling salesperson. Should that go away? What should an email look like?
I think an email has to be, like I've always said, it's got to be quick. It's got to give information, the information that they want. So when a customer is asking about, certain things, you have to make sure you put those in there. You give them options, and you ask for that appointment at that point in time. And so that's what I mean by that quick. If you have an email that they have to scroll down and to read, you're done. They're not going to read it. We don't read our emails for the most part. So you have to make sure that it's quick, that a customer can read it very quickly, and that it's up-to-date information of what they want, and that you're providing that option of different vehicles and different things on that line. And so you have to make sure that it is that quick, easy template.
I want you to finish this statement for me. It's not about the deal, but the
customer.
Well, it's not about the deal, but the next deal. Those are actually
the next deal. Yes, the next deal. Yes.
Those are actually your words. A referral business is important in auto retail, obviously.
Yes, it's funny that we, with the day of the internet and how we've changed our business, um, the salesmen for the most part are kind of relying on the internet department, and prospecting has kind of gone a little bit by the wayside, and so we have to get back to that and making sure that we are developing that long-term relationship, because it's not about that one sale. It's about the next one and the next one, and that referral business and building that relationship with that customer. It doesn't mean that you're calling them every 60 days to say hi, but it's to making sure that you're in their face and in their bubble to a certain degree, with some emails, with some, and asking for the referral. That's the one thing that most car guys do not do is, if the customer is happy and they love you, then they're going to be able to tell 10 or 15 people. And so you need to make sure that you ask for those referrals, so you can grow your business and you're not relying on, walk-in traffic or what it be.
Thank you for watching the official news source of the retail automotive industry, CBT News.